Hello everyone. In today's lecture, we will see some more questions based on applications of derivatives. So let's start. Practice questions from 1 to 6. The images used in our slide deck are for educational purposes only. We respect the intellectual property rights of the original creators and owners of these images. If you are the owner of any of the images used in this deck and have any concerns or issues, please contact us at sathi@iitk.ac.in and we shall remove the images. So let's start with question number 1. It says a kite is moving horizontally at a height of 151.5 meter. If the speed of kite is 10 meter per second, right? How fast is the string being let out when the kite is 250 meter away from the boy who is flying the kite? The height of the boy is 1.5 meter. So the hint of this question is C. We have to find basically the dx by dt, right? If the no dx by dt is given, if the speed of kite is 10 meter per second, so dx by dt is given. Suppose if like this is boy, this is kite going on, right? Boy height is 1.5 meter. So suppose this is y, so we have to find dy by dt, right? We have to find, and this is x, and dx by dt is given. The speed of kite is given. Kite is moving horizontally, and this height is basically 151.5 meter, right? When the kite is 250 meter away from the boy, that is, if y when y is equal to 250 meter, then we have to find the dy by dt, right? Clear? So you just have to write the relation between y and x using Pythagoras theorem, that is y square is equal to 151 minus 5 minus 1, that is 150. So y square is equal to 150 square plus x square, right? After that we can differentiate throughout with respect to t. Clear? So you will get the relation between dx by dt and dy by dt, right? So in this way you can approach this question. We have 10 seconds to solve this question. After 10 seconds we will discuss the solution. Okay, let's move to the solution part C. Let AB be the position, AB be the position of boy who is flying the kite, and C be the position of kite at any time t, right? C be the position of kite at any time t. Therefore, C, you can see the graph, it is 1.5. So this height will be 150 because the kite is moving. Kite is moving initially at a height of 151.5 meter. Right. So distance of C, that is C is basically 151.5 minus 1.5, which is 150 meter. Right. Let BD is equal to X. BD is equal to X. And AC is Y. Clear? Then AE will be AE. AE is equal to X. Now given AB is equal to 1.5 meter, since AB is equal to 1.5 meter and CD is equal to 151.5 meter, therefore, as we discussed, CE is equal to 150 meter. Clear? CE is equal to 150 meter. Now given dx by dt is equal to 10 meter per second, right? Dx by dt as given is 10 meter per second, right? Here we have to find basically dy by dt, as we have discussed. We have to find basically at which rate the string being laid out, right? That is, we have to find dy by dt. Clear? And y is equal to 250 meter. Now in triangle CAE, in triangle CAE, we can apply Pythagoras theorem, that is y square is equal to x square plus 150 square. Now on differentiating throughout, we get 2y dy by dt is equal to 2x dx by dt, right? Which can be found as dy by dt is equal to x by y into dx by dt, which is equal to x by y into 10. Clear? X by y into 10 because dx by dt is 10. Now in triangle ACE, x is basically root over 250 square minus 150 square, right? X is basically 250 square minus 150 square by using Pythagoras theorem again, since y is equal to 250. So after solving this, you will get x is equal to 200 meter. Now from equation 1, we get dy by dt is equal to x by y, which is 200 upon 250. into 10, which is equal to 8 meter per second, right? That so answer will be dy by dt will be 8 meter per second. Got it? Dy by dt will be 8 meter per second. Option A is the right choice, right? Option A is the right choice. Okay, let's move to the next question. Question number 2, which says the normal to the curve y into x minus 2 into x minus 3 is equal to x plus 6 at the point where the curve intersects the y-axis passes through the point, right? So again, the hint of this question is, see, y is given in terms of x, right? You can convert y minus 2 into y minus 3 this side. So you will get y is equal to x plus 6 upon y minus 2 into x minus 3, right? So y is given in terms of x. You can calculate dy by dx, right? And since we have to discuss about the normal, so we can find minus 1 upon dy by dx, clear, to find the equation of normal. The slope of normal will be slope of normal will be minus of 1 upon dy by dx. Clear? So then we have to find the point at which normal intersects y-axis. Clear? The normal to this curve at the point where the curve intersects y-axis passes through the point. Clear? So we have to find the normal passes through which point, right? The normal passes through which point. Clear? So in this way you can approach this question. We have 10 seconds to solve this question. After 10 seconds we will discuss the solution. Okay, let's move to the solution part C. The curve is basically y into x minus 2 into x minus 3 is equal to x plus 6, equation 1. Now put x equal to 0. If you put x equal to 0 in equation here, in equation 1, you will get y into minus 2 into minus 3 is equal to 6. Therefore, y is equal to 1. So the point of intersection is 0 and 1, right? Because we had to find we had to find, since it is given that the curve is intersecting the y-axis, right? So the point of intersection is 0, 1, right? Now y is equal to x plus 6 upon x minus 2 into x minus 3, right? Therefore, dy by dx is equal to x minus 3 plus x plus 2 upon x minus 2 square into x minus 3 square, right? Therefore, dy by dx at 0, 1 is basically, let's put x as 0. Clear? So dy by dx at 0, 1 is, when you put x as 0, you will get 6 plus 30 upon 4 into 9, which is 1. Now, if slope of tangent, that is dy by dx, is 1, then the slope of normal will be minus 1. Therefore, the equation of normal at 0, 1 is given by y minus 1 is equal to minus 1 into x minus 0. Clear? Therefore, after solving this, you will get the equation of normal as x plus y minus y is equal to 0. Right? So, by putting options, you will get that, like point 1 by 2 and 1 by 2 is passing through the curve of normal, right? So, I think option B is the right choice. 1 by 2 and 1 by 2 is passing through the equation of normal, right? Option B is the right choice. Okay. So let's move to the next question. Question number 3, which says the value of a for which the function a plus 2 x cube minus 3ax square plus 9ax minus 1 decreases monotonically throughout for all value of x, right? So see, the hint of this question is, since we have to find the interval of a, and it is given that this function is basically monotonically decreasing. Therefore, see, fx is given, we can find f dash x, right? So we can find f dash x and keep f dash x less than 0. Put f dash x less than 0. Clear? You will get the interval of a. Clear? So in this way, you can approach this question. Okay. So you have 10 seconds to solve this question. After 10 seconds, we will discuss the solution. Okay, let's move to the solution part C. Let fx is equal to a plus 2 x cube minus 3ax square plus 9ax minus 1. Since this function fx is fx decreases monotonically for all x belongs to real, then f dash x will be less than equal to 0 for all x belongs to real, right? So let's find f dash x, which is 3 into a plus 2x square minus 6ax plus 9a less than equal to 0 for all x belongs to real. Therefore, a plus 2x square minus 2ax plus 3a less than equal to 0 for all x belongs to real. Now, see, if this function is less than equal to 0, there can be conditions when discriminant less than 0, sorry, a plus 2 less than 0 and discriminant also less than equal to 0. Clear? So let's fulfill this condition. So if a plus 2 less than 0, that means a less than minus 2, and discriminant less than equal to 0, that means uh, 8a square minus, after solving this, you will get minus 8a square minus 24a less than equal to 0. So after solving, you will get a less than minus 2 and a into a plus 3 greater than equal to 0. Therefore, a less than equal to a less than equal a less than minus 2 and a less than equal to minus 3, or a greater than equal to 0. This imply a less than equal to minus 3, right? Therefore, a belongs to minus infinity to 0. A belongs to minus infinity to minus 3, right? A belongs to minus infinity to minus 3. After solving, you will get the interval of a as less than equal to minus 3, right? So I think option D is the right choice. A less than equal to a less than equal to minus 3 and greater than minus infinity. Got it? So option D is the right choice. Let's move to the next question, question number 4, which says if fx is equal to x upon sin x and gx is equal to x upon tan x, where x is between 0 to 1, then in this interval, which option is right? Clear? C. The hint of this question is C. As given in the options, you can easily conclude that we have to discuss basically the increasing and decreasing nature of fx and dx, right? We have to discuss whether fx is increasing or gx is increasing or decreasing as well, right? So what is the conditions? Fx is given, gx is given. What you have to do is basically find f dash x, right? And g dash x. And you have to see whether the f dash x less than 0 or greater than 0 or none of this, or gx less than 0 or greater than 0 of none of these, right? In this way, you will be able to find whether the function fx or gx is increasing or decreasing. Clear? So in this way, you can approach this question. You have 10 seconds to solve this question. After 10 seconds, we will discuss the solution. Okay, let's move to the solution part C. Since fx is x upon sin x, therefore f dash x is sin x minus x cos x upon sin square x. Therefore, f dash x equal to cos x into tan x minus x upon sin square x. Therefore, since C, as x is between 0 to 1, as x is between 0 to 1, therefore f dash x will be greater than 0, right? Since C, denominator is greater than 0, as x is between 0 to 1, tan x will be greater than x. Clear? So this term is positive. Cos x will be greater than 0, right? So numerator is positive and denominator is positive itself, as we know. So fx is an increasing function, right? Now let's move to gx. Since gx is given as x upon tan x, so g dash x is basically tan x minus x square x upon tan square x, which is equal to sin x cos x minus x upon sin square x, which is equal to sin 2x minus 2x upon 2 sin square x. Again, d upon dx of sin 2x minus 2x is equal to 2 cos 2x minus 2. Right, therefore, 2 times cos 2x minus 1 less than 0. So, sin 2x minus 2x is decreasing, right? Because uh, d upon dx of sin 2x minus 2x is basically less than 0, right? So, sin 2x minus 2x is decreasing. Therefore, sin 2x minus 2x is less than 0. Therefore, g dash x is less than 0. Clear? Clear? G dash x is less than 0. So, gx is decreasing function, right? Therefore, fx is increasing function and gx is decreasing function, right? So, I think option C is the right choice. Fx is an increasing function and gx is decreasing function. Clear? Okay, let's move to the next question. Question number 5, which says if fx is equal to integration from 0 to x mod log 2 log 3 log 4 cos t plus a dt. If fx is increasing for all real values of x, then you have to find the interval of a, right? You have to find basically the interval of a. Okay. So see, fx is given by differentiating both sides. You can get f dash x, clear, and you can check whether in this interval it is greater than 0, clear. So what will be the interval of a at which f dash x is greater than 0 for this function fx to be increasing, right? So in this way you can approach this question. Now you have 10 seconds to solve this question. After 10 seconds we will discuss the solution. Okay. Okay, let's move to the solution. See, f dash x is given as f dash x is equal to mod log 2 log 3 log 4 cos x plus a, right? Clearly fx is increasing for all x. If log 2 log 3 log 4 log cos x plus a is defined for all values of x, right? Now see, therefore log 3 log 2 log x log 4 cos x plus a greater than 0, right? For this function to be defined, because domain of log x is t, this term should be greater than 0, right? That's why we have applied this term greater than 0 for all x belongs to real. Now log 4 cos x plus a should be greater than 1 for all x belongs to real. Now cos x plus a greater than 4 for all x belongs to real. Therefore x is greater than 5, clear. X should be greater than 5, clear. So I think option D is the right. X is greater than 5. A belongs to a is greater than 5. That is a belongs to 5 to infinity. Okay, got it. Okay, let's move to the next question. See, next question is if fx satisfy all the conditions of mean value theorem in 0 to 2, if f0 is equal to 0 and mod f dash x less than equal to 1 by 2 for all x in 0 to 2, then which option is correct? So see, the hint of this question is you have to find whether fx is less than 2 mod fx is less than equal to 1, fx equal to 2x, or fx equal to 3, clear. So see, fx is satisfying all conditions of mean value theorem. What are the conditions of mean value theorem? The function should be continuous in a to b. A is 0 and b is 2, and function should be differentiable in open interval 0 to 2, clear. Then if these two conditions satisfy, then there must exist at least one c where f dash c is equal to fb minus fa upon b minus a, right? So this condition these conditions of mean value theorem you can apply to get the answer. Okay, so you have 10 seconds to solve this question. After 10 seconds we will discuss the solution. Okay, let's move to the solution part C. Since fx is satisfying mean value theorem in 0 to 2, right? And if f0 is equal to 0 and mod f dash x less than equal to 1 by 2 for all x in 0 to 2, then since f2 minus f0 upon 2 minus 0 is equal to f dash x, right? Therefore f2 minus 0 upon 2 is equal to f dash x, clear. Therefore d of fx upon dx is equal to f2 upon 2, clear. F2 upon 2, because f dash x can be written as d upon dx, d of fx upon dx. Therefore fx is basically f2 upon 2 x plus c. Now see, f0 is 0, clear. Therefore c is equal to 0. Therefore fx is equal to f2 upon 2 x. Also for mod f dash x less than equal to 1 by 2, this implies mod f2 upon 2 less than equal to 1 by 2. From equation 1 we will get mod fx, we will get mod f2 upon 2 x is equal to mod f2 upon 2 mod x, clear, less than equal to 1 by 2 mod x, clear. Now from equation 2 From equation 2 we have done this. Now in interval 0 to 2 for maximum x, mod fx should be less than equal to 1 by 2 into 2. Clear? Because since it is increasing, maximum value of x should be 2. Clear? Because it is mod x. Maximum value of mod x should be 2. Clear? Therefore, after solving, you will get mod fx less than equal to 1. Right? Since x is equal to 2. Clear? By putting x equal to 2. Right? So mod x less than equal to 1 is the right choice. So this option is given in option B. Right? So option B is the right choice, I think. Okay? Option B is the right choice. Okay? So in this way, we have discussed a lot of questions based on applications of derivative. Right? Hope in the next lectures we will discuss uh, some more questions based on application of derivative. Hope you understood the lectures and you definitely liked the lectures. Okay? Thank you so much.